Hi, everybody. This is Patrick Pinto from BeeSeen Solutions, and welcome to another riveting episode of the ABCs of Digital Marketing. Today, we're sitting with one of our premier clients and close friend, Jim LaFontaine of CertaPro Painters. Jim, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, Pat. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. I wanted to ask, because I know the world is wondering, tell us a little bit about CertaPro Painters. Tell us about your history with them.
So, CertaPro Painters is the largest painting franchise in the country. We have over 387 franchise owners, and we specialize in residential and commercial painting, interior and exterior painting. And my particular location in Long Island has been around for over 20 years.
Wow. So could you elaborate a little bit more when you say commercial and residential? Could you kind of go into a little more detail of that?
Right, sure. So, for the commercial business, we've done a variety of work. We've done major exterior projects in shopping centers, storage facilities, office buildings, warehouses, etc. On the interiors, we've done inside office buildings, inside warehouses. We do store build outs, for example, like Crunch Gym, um, floor and decor, as well as curtains and homes, pet warehouse. So we've done a bunch of interior projects, plenty of exterior projects. We do some parking lot striping and also some epoxy flooring. And that's been our focus for the past couple of years, is to grow our commercial business. And at this point, it's really paying dividends because our commercial sector has really grown substantially at this point.
It's very impressive how you're able to kind of maneuver between a commercial aspect and a residential aspect. And I know from a lot of clients that we've had conversations with that have worked with you, and I think are still in projects with you, they've said that your work is spotless, it's flawless. They really have bragged about you and your team coming in and doing a job that they think would have taken a much longer time, but you were able to not be fast, but be efficient and get it done in a proper timeline and leave them with a product or a finished piece that they just said, I always thought you'd have to come back for touch-ups. You had it done right, done once.
Right. It's extremely important. So Pat, whenever I have a customer, I try to deliver two things. I try to deliver a great paint job and a great experience. And you can do both of those things extremely well. But if you do a poor cleanup, it's what the customer remembers. So from beginning to end, from the first time they call my office or call the 1-800-GO-CERTA phone number to the end of the job, we want every part of that experience to be exceptional. And if we can pull that off and deliver a great paint job, the end results speak for themselves. And I would just tell anyone who wants to see what we're all about is go check out my Google reviews, because I think once they see my Google reviews and they see the consistency in the products and the service that we deliver, I think they'll be really impressed.
Very well said. I agree with you. Let me ask you this question. In the world we're in today with COVID and social distancing, as I like to say it, how have you pivoted to keep yourself so out there and in front of everyone?
Yeah, in the beginning, it was a little bit challenging, but I do think in the residential sector, that's a little bit different. A lot of people are at home. They're looking at their paint jobs, realizing, I need to do a new paint job, update my house. I'm not spending $15,000, $20,000 on Turks and Caicos, so I'm going to put that money into my house. So we have been able to deliver, for those particular customers. But in the commercial sector, I think just in general, I've had great relationships with some property managers, some facility managers, and they call us back to do, more work. So from that point, we've been able to transition and work ourselves through COVID. In fact, we had a 40% growth last year. But I think more important than any of that stuff is the safety protocols that we put in place. So when my guys go to show up at a job, they are practicing the COVID safety protocols. They are wiping everything down. They are wearing masks. They're doing what they have to do their part to stop the spread.
It's the safest and smartest way to go. How has your approach in marketing your product and marketing to your audience, how have you pivoted with that through this COVID time as well, and even going forward after COVID?
Yeah, so for me, I did make a transition this year. I spent less money on marketing towards residential projects because they seem to be coming in organically through word of mouth, and my residential business is growing at a fine pace. But my, severe focus is on my commercial. So I started working with BeeSeen Solutions about 6 weeks ago, in trying to do some lead generation. And so far, it seems to be paying off. I've made some incredible relationships with some property managers and facility managers that already have me bidding on projects.
That's excellent. We love the relationship that we have with you and your team over at your location, and just the ease of doing business and the comfort of knowing that when we need to get on a call with you, you're responsive, you're receptive, the cohesiveness of both sides working together. I think it's a fabulous partnership, and we look forward to many long years down the road together with you guys.
Yeah. And, Pat, I have to say, what you guys are doing for me is you're making that connection. But at the end of the day, it's up to me to follow up. It's up to me to make sure that I'm putting into it what I want to get out of it, and make sure that I follow up with every person that sends me a message, or the person that I start a relationship with on LinkedIn. And that's a very, very important factor. If you don't do that, you're not going to move your business, and the money that you're spending, to generate these leads will not pay dividends for you. So that's an extremely important part of what has to be done in order for this to be successful.
I agree with you. I want to take a moment and thank you for taking the time to speak with us today, and walk us through what your CertaPro painters division does and how it breaks down, and your expertise, not only in the industry, but your expertise in what you do and how well you do it. If you wanted to leave everybody with a lasting impression, what would you like it to be?
It's a great question. I would say that for us, it's about the experience. It's about delivering an extraordinary experience on every single paint job. It's making sure that the communication level with the customer is there consistently, and that the experience from the beginning to the end of the process is top notch. And also, how responsive I am, as someone who's been in customer service their entire life. If there is an issue, I am on it. I don't avoid it at all. I make sure that whatever the issue is, I address it quickly. I'll show up to the job site if need be to address it. So whatever those, little bumps in the road that sometimes happen, during these projects, I make sure that we deliver on them, and we rectify it and keep the project moving in a smooth, time period. So yeah, that's important for me, is to deliver that from beginning to end.
That is one good lasting impression, I got to tell you. Now, the last thing I'll ask you is, so that the world watching this can find you, how would you like them to find you? Where would you like them to find you?
They could go on to CertaPro Painters, and my particular location or website is Port Jefferson. So if they would go on there, they can find me, and they can call the 1-800-GO-CERTA phone number and ask for me directly. And they will get a message to me immediately, and I'll be very responsive and call someone back right away.
Can they find you on LinkedIn as well?
Oh, absolutely. My personal LinkedIn is under James LaFontaine. So James LaFontaine, and I think it's just, CertaPro Painters. You'll see that in my profile.
So James LaFontaine, look for the guy with the $1 million smile. That's what you recommend. Well, listen, thank you again. And as I like to say, it's always good to talk to people. It's always good to understand more about our clients. It's always good to be seen. Thank you again, Jim, for your time today.
Thank you, Pat. Have a great day.
You as well.